back. When Mary Edwards' home needed repairs, a special group provided the spark to get the work done. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers rounded up a team of volunteers and made it happen. Giving back is just one way that the IBEW is plugged into Houston. Here with more about the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716, welcome John Easton. Good morning. There are so many things that a union does, and sometimes we hear just certain things in the news. It's so much broader than that. And right now, you all are helping to fill a very big gap in this country where the trades have kind of gone away for a while, and now we need people to do those jobs.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's what the IBEW does, is it provides training and education to the electrical workforce, ensuring that our customers receive the best value and the skill needed to perform the electrical work.
How did you end up choosing this as a career?
Actually, my father is a retired IBEW member, so he kind of guided me, and he always taught me that first and foremost, if you had a trade in your back pocket, you could always go and do something else, but you'd always have the trade in your back pocket. It was very important to have a skilled trade.
Yeah, and to be taught correctly, because you know, there's always that guy who says, "I've done some tinkering, I can probably fix that," and you're like,
No. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor isn't all that skilled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
all right, the importance of unions and what you've seen when people have come into the union. Tell me about the Brotherhood, for example.
Well, the Brotherhood, the sisterhood, is about elevating the lives of each other, believing in each other, teamwork on the job site. We don't believe in just elevating lives within the workforce, but also within the community. So it's a cultivation of teaching each other to care for each other, help each other out, whether it be the training or in the community.
And you're right, and you help each other out, but you also,
ma'am.
that spills over into the community.
Yes,
and Rebuilding Together is one of the things, groups that you've joined forces with. And tell us how you all came together and what you've gotten out. Because oftentimes we think that the person who's receiving the services is getting something, but we get something out of it too.
Yes, ma'am. There's nothing that can repay what you get inside from helping another person.
In fact, some of your volunteers are in the audience today with Rebuilding Together.
And Rebuilding Together is a great organization. It's been around 30-plus years, giving back, rebuilding houses for those that need the work. So how do we get involved? It's just what we do. So learning about them through KHOU. Y'all had some great volunteers as well. I want to give y'all some props. KHOU, y'all came out and helped out.
Yeah. IBEW did join forces with volunteers from our staff here at KHOU 11 and the organization Rebuilding Together Houston, and that meant the world to local senior citizen Mary Edwards. Please welcome the Executive Director for Rebuilding Together, Jim Solar, along with Mary. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
So, Mary, okay, you are a great-grandmother?
Yes.
And so things at the house were kind of getting tough for you to stay on top of. What was happening at home?
Well, my house, it really did need a lot of work. And I didn't have the money, so I just kept praying and praying. And finally, IBEW, they came out. And
the prayers were
did
answered.
A great job, and thank God for that.
Yes. You get to see this a lot with Rebuilding Together because there's so many people who they may even own their own homes or whatever, but, you know, especially Houston heat and humidity, time takes its toll. You get to see the smiles on faces often in this partnership.
Well, absolutely. You know, you say the heat and the humidity. There's a saying about houses in Houston. There's two kind of houses, those with termites and those that are going to get them.
Yeah.
And we see that. We see all kinds of situations over the course of nearly a third of a century we've been doing business.
Yeah, and you made all kinds of, handrails were added to the front steps to make it safer for you. Stairs and handrails added to the outside door. Wood replacement on the exterior, which we know is something that always has to happen if you have wood here. But tell us about Rebuilding Together Houston.
Well, as I mentioned, we've been around for over a third of a century. We've done over 21,000 projects. We've had close to 300,000 volunteer days of service that have gone into these, and we've put over $100 million of value back into the Houston community over those now 34 years.
And when you help her, you help the rest of us, because you reduce the burden on the social support systems. And the other great thing is that you help preserve the value of that neighborhood and keeping someone in their home longer.
Absolutely. And also some of these homes, like Mary's Homes and others that we help, the elderly homeowners, sometimes these are anchor homes for the families, you know, the larger family.
Right.
You know, these are where these families have grown up. Grandchildren come back, great-grandchildren come back, right, Mary? And there's a lot of memories, and there's a lot of family value embedded in these homes.
Yeah.
That by helping preserve the homes, we're giving back to the whole family and the neighborhood and the greater Houston community.
And it's a place where you can live out the rest of your days, hopefully,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's yours, Mama.
Yes.
All right. So tell us how the average citizen can get involved in rebuilding together, and how someone who may be in the electrical trade can get involved with you all.
Well, it's actually sort of a complex situation because we're doing construction, and it takes a team of people. So rather,
You know what they're doing.
Well,
to some degree.
You need
the electrical stuff. We want you to know what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Anybody can do a paintbrush. Right?
Well, we work with groups of like 20 to 25 to 30 typically, and they come from churches and corporations and groups like John's, and it takes a few skilled people, and it takes some project leadership to get involved. But any individual, there is always a job for anyone, as some of those folks out in the audience can attest. Before they did it, they thought, I can't. What can I do? Yeah. But after you get
power tools,
you get
okay. And then IBEW, if somebody is in the trade and wants to join.
The IBEW is go to the IBEW.net, IBEW716.net to learn a little bit more about our organization. We do have an apprenticeship program for the electrical trades, but also a telecommunications program.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. The apprenticeship program.
Yes, ma'am. It's a 5-year apprenticeship program with 900 hours of education and then 8,000 hours of on-the-job training, which ensures that the customer gets the best value.
All right. Well, thank you for being plugged into the community. Get it? Plugged into the For more information on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716 in particular, call 713-869-8900, 713-869-8900, or again, log on to IBEW716.net.